So, a 55-year-old man in Thailand went to one of the local national parks to pick some rocks. Now, I guess we'll never know why on earth he needed 55 pounds of the stuff. Maybe he wanted to sell them, or he had some crazy design project. But his plan didn't work out. There were rules about that. He was caught, and now he must pay a huge fine to the national park. One of the locals noticed our hero in the rock-picking action and decided to call the authorities. They took it seriously and kicked off a full-blown operation with park rangers, forest protection officers, and environmental crime police. They set up an ambush at the location he gave them. Soon enough, they saw a man we only know as Mr. Manna with a backpack made from a fertilizer sack. He had plenty of rocks, a small sledgehammer, and a machete. It was obvious he came prepared for his operation. When they stopped him, he admitted it all. He went into the park without permission to take the rocks. What he did breaks two rules of the local National Park Act, which boils down to: you can't take natural resources from protected lands. He's now facing a formal fine at the National Park Office. It seems like no big deal, but even picking up a rock in the wrong place can do real damage to nature. That Thai man was lucky he didn't end up in jail. In the United States, there's a legit punishment for removing rocks, shells, old wood, or any artifact you might stumble across in the national parks. So yeah, next time you want to do something like that, be prepared to pay up to a $5,000 fine or spend 6 months behind bars. Two men in Nevada learned it the hard way. They didn't just try to take some rocks home for fond memories, but violently pushed them off a cliff. All this happened at Lake Mead National Recreation Area, and the park authorities were nearly crying as they watched the footage of that incident. Why, just why would someone do something like that is beyond their understanding. The red rocks they pushed were part of a formation that took millions of years to form, and there's no way to fix it. It all happened at one of the most popular hiking trails in the park. Since the park is so huge, the staff can't be in all places at once and can prevent all mischievous visitors from doing stupid stuff. Thankfully, there are responsible tourists among the 6 million people who come here every year, and they let the authorities know about such incidents. In our case, the video helped identify the two men, and the court used it as evidence during a 2-day trial with a federal jury. They found the pair guilty of 1 count of injury and attacking government property. So, the two dummies will face up to 1 year in prison, a fine of $100,000, or both penalties. Now, rocks aren't the only thing people try to take back home from hikes. In Arizona's Petrified Forest National Park, they've been stealing fossilized wood for years. This wood has unusual rainbow colors, and it's all part of ancient trees that turned to stone over millions of years. You can learn about prehistoric Earth from each piece, but people don't care that much about that part. They're more excited about the rumors about a mysterious curse that comes with the fossils. They say if you take a chunk home, bad luck will follow you. Yeah, I can see the appeal of that. Huh? Hundreds of people who believed it took wood from the park and then sent it back with letters of apology. The park authorities collected hundreds of these letters in the so-called conscience pile, and they have a special wall of shame for them. At some point, park rangers said that naughty visitors had stolen so much wood that the park was getting emptier. They treated every guest as a potential criminal, and who could blame them? But no one did real research on how much petrified wood the visitors stole from the park. Paleontologists finally decided to check if millions of tons of wood were actually missing, and it looks like that was just a rumor. Someone reported wood missing from an area with rock layers that couldn't have it, even in theory. Then they compared historic photos to more recent ones from 2007 and 2012. It turned out that the landscape hadn't really changed much at all. New paved walkways had covered some of the supposedly missing wood. And while rangers still catch a few people, around 1 to 2% of visitors, taking small fossil chips, it's not like anyone's dragging whole petrified trees out in a wheelbarrow. So the park staff decided to warm up to the visitors a bit, and even edited the visitor orientation video to remove a dramatic scene of someone getting arrested for fossil theft. No more over-the-top tactics like vehicle searches or closing off huge areas of the park. Now they even invite people to explore more than ever and go on destination hikes. You can trek out to find hidden spots and breathtaking views that most people never see. During one of such supervised public digs, one amateur fossil fan even found the jaw of a long-snouted fish, a species never before discovered in the park. So, if you really can't live without picking up a rock or two in the park, here's some good news for you. The Bureau of Land Management kindly allows people to collect up to 25 pounds of rock plus one piece of petrified wood a day on some of their public lands. You can do it as long as it's for personal use and you're not digging or blasting. In Alaska, some parks permit it as long as you're not using tools or disturbing habitats. But it's always better to double-check the rules. And if you want to collect dinosaur bones or fossils of animals like ancient fish, reptiles, or mammals on public lands, sorry, but that's a definite no-no. Only researchers with special permits from the BLM are allowed to do that. And even when they find something cool, it doesn't belong to them. All the fossils they collect stay public property and get sent to museums, universities, or research centers where they can be studied and displayed. If you find common fossils like old seashells, mollusks, or trilobites, you're usually allowed to take a small amount for personal use, but only if you don't try to sell or trade them. Also, anything you find inside a cave, like animal bones, plants, or cool rock formations, is completely off-limits too. These things are federally protected, which means you can't touch, damage, or remove them. Just take a photo and leave it for others to see. The same goes for seashells. Picking them up can harm coastal ecosystems. Many creatures depend on them to survive, so if you take away a shell, you take a part of their life. Shells help keep beaches stable, give birds nesting materials, and give homes for marine life, like algae, seagrass, sponges, and teeny-tiny crabs. Shells also contain calcium carbonate, which dissolves into seawater and gets reused by the ocean. That means every shell is part of a big recycling system. In the US, you can collect some empty shells, but just for fun. Some species are protected, and if you accidentally take a live animal inside a shell, you could be in serious trouble. One woman took 40 seashells from a beach in Key West, Florida. Turns out, those shells had live queen conchs inside. The animal is listed as threatened under the Endangered Species Act. She ended up getting 15 days in jail and a $500 fine. Not exactly the best beach souvenir. So yeah, try to curb your enthusiasm when you're exploring national parks, and remember, it's the safest thing, both for you and for the place you visit, if you just take photos back home. That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.